Hello, and welcome to the Complete Lakers podcast. I'm Anthony Wilson, recording from Los Angeles, California. Before I get to the Week 2 NFL picks, among other things, I wanted to start with some listener comments from Lakers Nation. In response to me saying the team should start Marcus Smart and move Rui Hachimura to the bench this season, Donnie PR023 said, if I move someone from the starting five to the bench, I would rather bring Vando up, replacing Hachi. I am keeping Reeves as a starter. He is too good as a team player to have him leading a squad by himself. That's still Bron's job. Okay, sir, thanks for the comments. I personally don't believe that Jared Vanderbilt brings anything to the Lakers. Uh, he reminds me of what Russell Westbrook's famous words about Pat Bev to me. Jared Vanderbilt is just mainly just running around out there. He brings nothing offensively. Just the occasional corner three. I saw a video where he's reworked his shooting motion, but to me it looks even worse. So I think the template, like the best case scenario or for somebody like him is someone like a Lou Dort, who I'm not really a fan of, but at least he's a true 3-and-D player and an All-NBA defender. You can't even call Vando a true 3-and-D player because he barely shoots threes. Only shot 1 3 a game last year, and he's not a lockdown defender. So, yeah, I'm not really a fan of Vando or Rui, honestly. I'd rather have somebody like a Bogdanovich than Rui. You know, but that's just me. Um, Another listener, trained to go Q1B, said the Lakers should start Marcus Smart and move Austin to the bench. You need multiple guys with size that can switch. So that's one vote for moving AR to the bench. Thank you for the comments, sir. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I would keep Austin in the starting lineup um, excuse me, as Luka's excuse me again, as Luka's his his backcourt mate, for the long haul going forward. Um, I think that now technically, if you have Luka, Luka's damn near. We've seen Luka carry teams, by himself, right? Where his second best player was someone like a Dinwiddie or a Jalen Brunson before Brunson, blew up in New York. Uh, so Luka really technically don't even need a second offensive player in the lineup because he can be an offense all by himself. But I think that with LeBron being as old as he is and going in the year 23, um, yeah, I'm pretty sure Dinwiddie and Brunson, they started alongside Austin, didn't they? Pretty sure. I'm not sure, but that's what I would think. So, uh, you know, um, he don't necessarily need a Kyrie Irving with him in the backcourt, but and I would say Austin is somewhere like between the Brunson and the Dinwiddie he had, and obviously the Kyrie that he made the finals with a couple years ago. But I think with LeBron aging and getting older, like he has, um, it would be I guess I would say the wisest choice. I say it would be the wisest choice to have keep Austin in there with Luka and have them you know uh, bounce off of each other, and then you can take some of the pressure off of LeBron. And then as the first commenter um, said, he said Austin is too good of a player to have him leading a squad by himself. That's still Bron's job, so Bron can get more time with the second unit. I like that idea better. And then but last but not least, um, the listener saw 12367 said Austin and Luka will form a better backcourt than the Splash Brothers. Luka is generational and Reeves is special. I can see these two leading the Lakers to a three-peat championship before their careers are over. That kid works so hard. That last part was in reference to JJ's comments about how much Austin worked on his body this summer, which I alluded to in a thumbnail. Now, in response to that, I would say that clearly Luka has the talent to leave a Curry-like legacy. Luka, as you said, sir, is a generational talent. Plus, he's 6'6" to Curry's 6'3". Now, is Austin as talented as Klay Thompson, though? That's a little bit more tricky, if you ask me. Klay is bigger, 6'7", Austin 6'5". And obviously, Klay was a much better defender in his prime before the injuries. But on the other hand, he's mostly been a spot-up three-point shooter. While Austin has way more bag work, as the kids call it. But all in all, I would probably give the edge to Klay, and I would give the edge to the Golden State backcourt. But that doesn't mean Luka and Austin can't make their mark as well, you know. Yeah. So, but I want to thank everyone who left a comment. I really appreciate it. I look forward to reading more of you guys' feedback this season. The Lakers open their preseason Friday night against the Suns. So no LeBron probably. He was on the sideline to start camp. JJ said that he had there was some nerve irritation in the glute area. So LeBron didn't participate in the first practice. Then of course that same day though he was on Kai Cenat's Mafia Thon 3 finale to cut Kai's dreads. I'll get back to Kai and Speed and their sometime they split in LA recently for their streams, their streaming marathons. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens with this, with the lineups and like I said, Jersey already said that he's not worried about you know trying to figure out who the starters are going to be. They got 7 or 8 starter worthy players. My guess is that obviously Luka, Braun, and Ayton will start every game that they're available to play. And then you have Rui, you have Austin, you have Marcus Smart. My guess is that Austin will end up being the full-time starter. I would say it's probably more than a guess. But it's like when Darvin Ham put Austin on the bench, that didn't go over well. Pretty much cost Darvin his job. So when you think about it, how everything played out that second Darvin year. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Austin's going to be the starting two guard as usual. And then I think that other spot will come down to, sometimes it'll be Rui, sometimes it'll be Marcus Smart, sometimes it might even be Jared Vanderbilt, it might be Gabe Vincent, who knows, right? They got enough guys. It's a good problem to have, So, we'll just have to we'll have to see what happens. All right. So transitioning now to the NFL. Uh, is the NFL picks. Um, Week 5 NFL picks. The games start tonight with Thursday Night Football. It'll be the 49ers at the Rams. Uh, Brock Purdy, after returning last week, after 2 game absence, he's been ruled out with that toe injury. Um, and they're at the Rams. Now, Mac Jones was 2-0 in those games that Brock Purdy missed. You know, any quarterback Kyle Shanahan has is, if he can play at all, the 49ers are still going to be dangerous with him, you know. And the Rams are really good at, that Eagles game notwithstanding, the Rams are really, really good at winning close games, you know. So, they just won a close game last week against a good Colts team. So, I guess that this will be a close game. It comes down to the wire, and but the Rams are able to pull it out in the end with a defensive stop or something like that against the 49ers. Rams are an 8.5 point favorite. I think it'll be closer than that though. And on Sunday, we got the Vikings at the Browns. Now the Vikings lost last week in the Dublin game against the Steelers. That was a 6:30 a.m. Pacific game, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And they're right back again this week now. It's the London game. And they're playing the Browns. Again at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Like I already said what I had to say about Carson Wentz. He lost last week. They should be able to get back on track against the Browns, no problem. The Browns will be starting Dylan Gabriel, so they've already 4 games in. They've already moved on from Joe Flacco, and of course there was some stuff I think it was yesterday, where Shadur Sanders stood up there and pantomimed his response to questions, and people end up saying that it was in response to some criticism that Rex Ryan had for him on ESPN. But yeah, I think that some people already said this is why he found the draft, because people weren't people. That's what NFL teams didn't want, is the extracurricular stuff. And I think he's. I think they have a point. You know, that's not what you want your quarterback doing. Period. No matter whether it's first string, second string, third string, your quarterback is supposed to be mature. And give mature answers and take the high road. So, I like Dylan Gabriel. Maybe he comes in and he's so good he just takes the job. But otherwise, I think we can still see Shador this season. But yeah, Vikings all the way in that one. Next, we have the Texans at the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, is he playing it out? It says the injury timeline is still. He's doubtful. Okay. So, it's looking like he's not going to play. Who's their backup? Hmm. Who's the backup of the Ravens? I don't even know. But they're at home now. Let me see who the quarterback for the Ravens is. Backup quarterback for the Ravens is Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is not bad. But I gotta go with the Texans at that one. If Lamar doesn't play. Damn, the Ravens are about to be 1-4. Oh, jeez Louise, man, this is terrible. Oh, that's tough. Next, we got the Giants at the Saints. The Saints are so bad, but Jackson Dart is he's about to win 2 straight games to start his rookies. His career as a starting quarterback. I said the Saints get their first win of the season in that one. Then we got the Broncos at the Eagles. The Broncos had a nice win on what was that? Was that Monday night? Yeah, it was. Now they play the Eagles. Well, man, Broncos could win that game, honestly. Eagles are 4-0 without really playing well. But the Eagles are so good, they have the muscle memory of winning at this point. You know, they're so good. They can win even when they don't play well. Plus, they're at home. I guess I'm gonna keep picking the Eagles until they lose. So I'll take the Eagles. Then we got the Cowboys at the Jets. You know, I mentioned Rex Ryan a couple minutes ago. It's amazing what Rex Ryan did with the Jets, getting the back-to-back AFC Championship games with Mark Sanchez in year 1 and year 2, and I love Mark Sanchez, but he really wasn't that good, right? It's amazing because the Jets are just a losing franchise with a losing culture. Same thing with Purcell. He took him to an AFC Championship game, and you have to go back to Joe Namath or that one year with the sack exchange, where they did anything. So, yeah, but no, I like the Cowboys on Sunday. And you got the Raiders at the Colts. It's a damn good Colts team. I'm afraid my Raiders are about to fall to 1-4, unfortunately. You got the Dolphins at the Panthers. Ooh, that's one. Man, get the Panthers get their second win, or the Dolphins without Tyreek? Now they're about to go to 2-3. That'll be interesting. Miami at home. No, I'm sorry. Panthers are on the Panthers at home. That's a toss-up. Because I have a feeling the Dolphins are going to play better without Tyreek. That's a tough one. Give me the Panthers. Buccaneers at Seahawks. It's a tough one. Sam Darnold is my guy, but the Buccaneers are good too. Seahawks at home, they're a 3.5-point favorite. Remember now, I'm not picking against the spread, although I'll occasionally mention the spread. Darn. Give me the Bucks. Then we got the Titans at the Cardinals. The Titans just playing terrible. Give me the Cardinals. Then we got the Commanders at the Chargers. Chargers get back on track after that loss last week at New York. And it's the Lions at the Bengals. Sorry, Bengals. Detroit is a 10.5-point favorite in your place, and I'm afraid they should be. Give me the Lions. And we got the Patriots at the Bills. Patriots are improving, but the Bills are still the Bills, brother. So, gotta go with them. And then last but not least, on Monday Night Football, it's going to be the Chiefs at the Jaguars. And the Jaguars are 3-1, but the Chiefs, as I said, what was that on Monday? The Chiefs are starting. They looked so much better last week as they start to get their weapons. You start to see what their offense is really going to look like once they get all their pieces back. Xavier Hurley got hurt in week 1. He was back on Sunday. Looked like just a completely different team as all the pieces start to fall into place. So I think the Chiefs continue with pick up where they left off last week, and they handled the Jaguars. So the Jaguars are improved. Jaguars 3-1. So, but yeah, I think the Chiefs go to 3-2. All right, so just right here at the end, I prefaced this a little bit earlier when I talked about LeBron going to the last day of Kai Cenat's Mafia-thon 3 and cutting Kai's dreads off. You know, Kai was in LA, um, uh, finishing up his Mafia-thon 3. And I show Speed, the other most famous streamer in the world, was at, he was also in LA. He did 35 straight days streaming. And he toured all across the country. And he finished in LA. And, he was at Disneyland. He was all over the place. He was on the Walk of Fame. And I think last thing I saw was he was outside the Coliseum with with DDG. Pretty much everywhere he went, he met. Of course, he rode around LA with YG. Uh, so these two guys, man. I'm 37 years old, but this streaming stuff, man, I'm not the type of person to sit like I'm like some 15-year-old kid and watch the whole stream. But it's definitely something it's a part of my algorithm because anything that comes up, I click on it and watch it. Any of the clips that come up, and I think it's good stuff, bro. I'm a fan of the streamers. It makes me wish that I was like maybe 15 years younger, 10, even 10 years younger, and I'd probably be streaming myself. You know, I might even still start streaming. You never know, or at least try to become a YouTuber. You know, um, you know, uh, uh, just to make the comparison though, between Speed and 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 Kai, I would say that they're different. You know, Speed is basically a one man show. You know, and internationally, Speed is bigger uh, globally than he is here in the U.S. Right? So the reaction he gets, he got a good reaction here, especially as I feel like it's a tour. Like in LA, he got a great reaction. They were following him around in Hollywood. But I mean, when he goes overseas, the response he gets is really amazing. So he's really one of the biggest, really one of the most famous people in the world. When I say Kai is bigger, it gets a bigger reaction, in the states. But you know, uh, like I said, they have a different style. Speed is really a one man show. He doesn't really need anybody. And like I said, he even before this, like he was in Greece with Giannis, and I saw a video of him and Rick Ross. Obviously he's been around with Messi and not Messi, but Ronaldo, that whole storyline or whatever. And it was great, but he's so entertaining by himself that he really doesn't need any help. Whereas Kai is different. Kai is more of like he's like he takes people and he brings in these different celebrities, and he's great at putting on a show. You know, he brings Kevin Hart in, he brings Drewski in. He does collabs and streams with these different celebrities, and it's just great entertainment. And then of course I feel like his eye for talent is so good because Reggie, Lil Rodney's son, um, him, Ray, and Rakai are three of the funniest people that I have ever seen. You know, so he does a great job with that, man. I know this is like I'm too old to know this. What's the funniest thing? One of the funniest things I've seen. That's when what's his name when Rakai kissed that girl Haley, which I've been at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, which I've since learned that they actually like knew each other already or whatever. They did some streams together, or whatever. And there was this one stream where Ray is in there. He goes, like, he tells Haley, like, hey, rate my man's, right? And she goes, he's not ugly. And Ray goes, he's not ugly. What do you mean he's not ugly? And she goes, she gives him a 9, right? And Ray said, Ray goes, a 9? Why are you lying? Just tell the truth. I mean, like what a funny kid, right? A funny young guy. I don't know how, he's older than Rick, right? Like 20 years old himself, Ray. But man, those kids are so funny. And yeah, so it's just different styles. But ultimately, it kind of equates to just about the same thing. But great entertainment value that both of those guys bring to streaming. And of course, what DDG brings, always having the baddies with him or and whatnot. Although I think it's kind of messed up how I feel like what's his name, Jay Cinco kind of snaked DDG because Jay Cinco is really with Lala now. And DDG had that first. So, and then I was reading that what's the name of the group that DDG has, the Capaholics. It seemed like he was saying that what I was saying is that Jay Cinco not in the group. So I kind of like the way Jay Cinco was where he's moving with his man. So, but it is what it is, bro. You know, that's young kids' business. Um, but yeah, man. Shout out to those guys. I was inspired and I was entertained watching them move around the city. You know, I almost wish I could have been out there to bump into them and shake hands with them or something like that, holler at them, because they're out there doing their thing, bro. At first I was confused by the streaming thing, but now I kind of get it. It's like I can see why some kid would get drawn into that because it's just constant, especially when they do these marathons. It's like if you're some lonely kid, well, now you got a friend. Got some friends, some guys, some people to keep you company, throughout the day. All right, so before I get out of here, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button next to the complete podcast network and to follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at TC Pod Network. You can also send feedback and mailbag questions to Complete Lakers Podcast at gmail.com. I am out.